Okay, I'll re-add you and see if it works. Hello, how are you? Thanks for joining, everybody. Canada Business Show is in full session. Hi, thanks for joining today.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. How's it going over there? Well, I guess we're in the same city.
Trying my best to stay warm.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited.
Same here. This winter hasn't actually been too bad, so that's good.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Right now, we're going to be doing episode 2 of the Canada Business Show. And I have a guest here. She is in immigration services. We're going to talk to her about her business, how she started her company, and go from there. And if anyone has any questions about immigrating to Canada, please share comment, any questions, any comments, any feedback. We'll be more than happy to have an interactive chat throughout. So please let us know who you are and what you do and how you got started with your business.
So my name is Ugochbi Agbo, and I'm the principal consultant at Bakerville Immigration Services, which is an immigration consulting company. I actually started my business as a result of information accuracy. I moved to Canada roughly about 13 years ago now, so slightly over 13 years ago, as an international student, and then transitioning to becoming a permanent resident and then a Canadian citizen. So I do, there's a lot of things that weren't so clear to me when I first moved to Canada. Like, I wasn't warned. Like, I didn't even know like Canada was like a really cold country because, you know, high school student, you're not really thinking, you're just more excited about the traveling and the experience, which is actually the real deal, you know? So I do know that, like, if I was a little bit like guided on the right path at that early on stage, some decisions that I made back then, I would have made, I would say, better choices, if I should say. That, and also, like, I was getting a lot of like requests from like people back home calling me, how do I move to Canada? I got scammed by this agent. This person said they're an immigration consultant, but they're not. So that kind of, I was helping a lot of people like get into Canada, and it's something I'm really passionate about. So I picked interest in immigration consulting, went back to school, got my diploma, got my license, and then I'm practicing now.
I think this is great. I follow an immigration consultant on TikTok, and her account grew within 3 months. I think from like 3,000 to 16,000.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I think it was like during the U.S. immigration, I started to see a lot of jokes about Americans wanting to move here. What are the emails looking like? Like which country seems to be contacting you the most to want to move to Canada?
To be honest, I would say like everybody else outside of Canada wants to move to Canada right now. Obviously, there's some countries that are like outliers that I have a lot more interest. A lot of countries in Africa, the US, of course. A lot of countries, very few countries in the Europe, I should say, but mostly it's looking like more of like African, Asian, like Indians, and Asians in general, and then the US. Those are like the major people who are wanting to move to Canada right now.
So what do you like most about running your business? Can you share any success stories with us?
Okay. I would say the best success stories I've had, my best success story is actually reuniting families, because I do specialize in various forms of immigration. We do spousal sponsorships, just general family sponsorships. We do study admission and study permits applications. We also do like visiting visas. We do permanent resident express entry. But I would say by far my most success stories, it's uniting families. Let's say you have a spouse here and then you want to bring in your spouse over to Canada. I would say that's my best success story. I actually have that one, and then there's this other feeling of a client has applied for the visa themselves before, and then unfortunately they get rejected, and then they come to you to do a reapplication for their visa, right? And then you're able to see what the problem is, order their GCMS notes, see what the officers highlighted, and then you're able to figure out a solution and then do reapplication, and it's successful. I actually have a client right now who just got approved the study permit. The client had been rejected twice on their own, and then we did a third reapplication and it was successful. So I love stories like that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just living here in Edmonton, I meet some people. I don't know how they do it, but they are living here alone, and they've been in Canada for a decade, and they have no family, no friends. And I'm like, I don't know mentally how they can do that. So it's good that you're bringing families together and uniting, because I don't know, I kind of feel like human beings are like a tree. If you lose your branches, your mom, your dad, some, family blood, and you're not close to your family, there's some psychological issues that can happen there.
Yeah, definitely. It does. Just even taking the pandemic situation as an example, like people are in the same city, in the same country, and they're not even able to visit families, right? We can see like the psychological and the mental impact it's having on individuals versus having like half of your family or 90% of your family in a different country. Even it's even way worse.
Right. And how did you pivot during the phase 1 pandemic? Some companies, they had the releasing spaces, and unfortunately less clients come in, but were you always virtual? Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, luckily, well, thanks to technology, yes, I've been mostly virtual, except some applications like spousal sponsorship, which is you have to still send in the paper application. But thankfully, the government is now launching a new portal for that to go online as well. I've been mostly virtual, so a lot of my clients are out of the country and were able to like submit applications online. So that didn't really impact so much in terms of like submitting application. What I would say the pandemic and the phase 1 closure made a huge impact is the processing times for applications. So applications are taking like 3 times longer than usual to even get a feedback from the government, of course, which I understand. And they are also prioritizing applications. For example, visiting visas are like at the back burner for every other application. So they're trying to get students here, trying to reunite families first. Of course, and I do understand that, right? But then, for example, in the case of study permit applications, we have to defer a lot of admissions because they're just not getting back to us on time. And then a lot of people who let's say were supposed to come in September or January, we haven't had any feedback about their visas yet. We have to do a lot of like deferment, right? So that it has affected the business in that way. But in general, in terms of like submitting application, thank God for technology, we're able to do that online. So it didn't affect it that much. And then now more than ever, people want to move to Canada with the way Canada handled the pandemic situation. So we're even getting a lot of inquiries, even with the whole situation right now.
That's good. I saw a question over here. So Fusion Media, if you're still here, asks, what is an immigration consultant? Do you liaison between an individual and the government?
Yes. So an immigration consultant is, first of all, the person has to be licensed. And for you to be licensed, you have to go through an approved immigration consulting diploma program. And then after that, you have to write the licensing exam to get your license. And then you also, on top of that, you have to do some professional development courses yearly and also some practice management courses, right? So the difference is that we're licensed and we're regulated versus an agent, right? And so we can represent an individual for their immigration application. That's what we do. So we represent the individual, of course, with a person's consent to the government.
Okay. And I don't know how much if this is true, but there's a lot of speculation going on that Canadian government is making harder for people like elderly to come, because this is not me per se, but people have said that Canadian government is kind of thinking, if you can't come to this country and produce some kind of work or labor or something like this, you're of no use. So can you clarify that a bit? Because that's a lot of conversation that I keep hearing from people who want to bring their parents here.
I don't think that's the case. Well, there's a misconception, like you said, out there, right? For bringing parents, they have, just like every other immigration stream, they have the maximum number of people who can sponsor and bring in their parents to live with them in Canada, of which they just opened up that sometime in November. They opened the application sometime in November. And for bringing parents, that one is more of like, I would call it more of like a lottery system. You submit your application, making your intent to apply, and then they just pick and choose, right? But if for bringing in skilled worker, they also have their target for the year. But their target is more, the way the system is set up, it's more geared towards the younger folks. Not necessarily do they not bring younger people, older people, but they want to bring people who, let's say, at least to be in Canada, will be able to work in Canada for a long time before they're able to retire. So bringing parents is one thing. That's a completely different program, and every immigration program have their target numbers, right? But then bringing skilled workers is also a different thing. It's called skilled worker for a reason. We want to bring in people who are skillfully employed and then can work in Canada for as long as possible before they can retire. I don't know if that makes any. If that's kind of clear.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Fusion Media asked again, what does a service like this cost?
Sorry, what was the question?
They're asking what the service would cost.
Oh, it depends on the type of application, right? For example, we won't charge the same thing for like a study visa application versus a spousal sponsorship application. But the first step for us is usually doing an initial consultation with the potential clients. After the consultation, depending on what the results of the consultation, that would now determine what the next step is, right? But of course, we have our range in terms of what we charge for each service.
And personally, on a personal level, how has it been for you? I know we're going 9 months into the quarantine. How have you been staying positive? Like, what kind of things do you do as an entrepreneur to stay uplifted during this time?
I've been taking, of course, most people are working from home, so I've been working from home a lot. I took a lot of professional development courses and practice management education as well. So that kept me busy for the most part. We had a virtual conference for immigration consultants as well, like a 2-day conference. So that kept me busy sometime in November. Just taking courses here and there, see how I can improve myself, talking to my clients more, seeing what's out there, just following trends, reading up on news, blogs, see what's going on with immigration, and advising my clients as needed.
That's good. I'm glad to know that you've been keeping busy.
Yeah.
And do you have anything new that's coming up? Any blogs, any podcasts, anything interesting you want to share with the group here?
Nothing new for now. I'll hold the thought on that. Nothing new for now. So, of course, we're still working on things. We're looking for always ways to reach to our audience and our clients better. We're still working on some on-the-ground things, but nothing really solid for now. But definitely, people should watch out in the new year. We have some ideas coming up.
It's great. And does anyone have any questions about immigration services, any questions that you have? Maybe you have friends or family that are interested in moving to Canada. This is the best place to answer your questions. You can get a qualified person here to give you some feedback and how to go about dealing with the situation. But as you ladies and gents are potentially typing, it's been quite interesting. This year, I was born and raised in Canada, Mississauga, Ontario, so I've been to different countries, the Caribbean, all over the U.S., and my mom wants me to go to Ghana with her next year just to visit. But I'm just grateful to be here because I communicate with a lot of people from across the globe on different platforms. And one of the first things that people ask me is how's it like in Canada? I really want to move. I get a lot of that. A lot of people from LinkedIn, TikTok, I want to move to Canada. And they're kind of looking to me for answers before we started communicating. And so the world really has this positive perception about living here. And I always tell people Canada is great, but it has its issues too.
Of course.
It's just you're not going to see it too much. But, I'm sure you're getting a lot of messages like that too, just people flooding you with questions and curiosity.
Yes, they do come on a daily basis. How's it moving to Canada? How can I move my family? I heard Canada is a great place. I'm Canada is a great place, probably one of the best countries to live in, to be honest. But not that it doesn't have its downsides too as well, right? But for the most part, definitely, I'm proud to be Canadian, if I should say.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've been to some beautiful places. I used to live in South Florida. I've been to probably 7 or 8 different Caribbean islands, but when I come back home, it's just like,
This is
okay, I was just in heaven,
Yeah.
but there's no place like Canada. Like nothing can get close to it.
except the winter.
It is what it is.
Except the winter. Except the winters, no. No. Except the winters, no.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Well, we have a lot of people on the line. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with the group here? Any updates on your business or anything else?
I would say if you definitely have family and friends, or if you have any immigration related questions, or family and friends who are looking to move to Canada, feel free to reach out to us via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, email at Bakerville Immigration, and hopefully we'll be able to reunite your families in Canada and make your Canadian dreams come true.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to upload this on IGTV, everybody, and so that you can play it back if you want to learn more. I'm going to tag Bakerville Immigration in the caption, so you're more than welcome to follow her and reach out to her or the team and ask them any questions about immigrating to Canada. Well, thank you, everybody. I have another business live happening tomorrow. Same time, 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, but that will be with a hair company. But thank you, everybody, and I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.